We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic.
And with that, President Trump declares a public health emergency, pledging money and resources to help fight the opioid crisis. The Centers for Disease Control says 140 Americans die every single day from opioid addiction. Good evening to you. I'm David Wade.
I'm Lisa Hughes. Despite attempts on the local, state, and the federal level to address the crisis, it is only getting worse. Since 2002, the number of opioid deaths has more than tripled, and last year, it claimed an estimated 59,000 lives.
The president's declaration today sets off a 90-day commitment from the federal government to fight the most deadly overdose crisis in U.S. history. We have a team of reporters covering this big story tonight. We begin with WBZ's Liam Martin with more on what the president's announcement really means. Liam?
David and Lisa, the president calls this the worst drug crisis in American history, but he stopped short of declaring it a national emergency, and that's an important distinction. President Trump said what communities all across the nation already know, that the opioid crisis is a public health emergency.
We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic.
The declaration does not release any new money to address the drug epidemic, which has been fueled by highly addictive painkillers flooding the market. But it does shift some federal money to help addicts, and the president is cracking down on at least one of the most problematic drugs.
We are requiring that a specific opioid, which is truly evil, be taken off the market immediately.
What the president did not do was call the drug epidemic a national emergency, which would have allowed for additional funding. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says the president's statement falls short.
The president's statement are words without the money.
In West Virginia, the hope dealers aren't waiting for the government. In the state with the highest overdose rate, 4 women who've been touched by addiction are taking matters into their own hands, reaching out to addicts like Tiffany Arredondo, who lost everything to heroin.
The Sunday that I wanted to get help, January 7th, they actually chased me down the whole day. Went to my dealer's house, yeah.
The Hope dealers helped her get clean, but many others are not so lucky. More than 170 Americans die each day from drug overdoses. Now, under this emergency declaration, the Department of Health and Human Services will speed up its hiring process to try to beef up its support for states that are in crisis. David?
All right.